Can it ever be right for a parent to buy booze for their kids? 16 and 17-year-olds are allowed to drink beer, wine or cider with food in a pub or restaurant if they're with an adult. And here's something that I seriously did not know until today. I don't know whether or not I should be telling you this, actually. It is legal for 5-year-olds to drink alcohol at home. It's remarkable. But is it irresponsible for parents to let their kids drink booze, or is it OK to let them have the occasional drink, break them in early? I'm joined now by the journalist and author Julie Cook. Julie, thank you very much. Is it all right to give kids booze?
No, it's not at all. And I was shocked like you, and I read today that at 5+ you can drink in the home. I had no idea that existed as a law.
It makes you think that you missed out you probably missed out for 15 years, didn't you?
Well, exactly. I grew up in the 70s and 80s as a child where, your dad would say, have a sip of beer. It was all very let the kids have a drink at home. And if I'm honest, Patrick, by the time I was 13, I was half cut half the time. So it really isn't very good. I don't think it's good to introduce alcohol to kids young. It just normalises it. And I was reading a piece as well today that there's the myth of the sort of French and Italian culture of drinking and it's all fine. Apparently that is just a myth. Apparently they still have alcohol problems. It's this complete myth we have that if you drink at the table like the French, you're going to be okay.
Yeah, it's an interesting one though, isn't it? Because I suppose, there are children who led an incredibly sheltered life and then got to the age of 18 and went absolutely berserk because they'd not had any experience of drink or whatever. But then there are also maybe children who were allowed booze from a young age, like that glass of wine maybe from the age of about 12 or 13, who have also gone on to be alcoholics. So it's almost like there's no science to it, is there? But would you actively frown on a parent who let a 13 or 14-year-old have a glass of wine at home with the meal?
I think I would, and I know that sounds terrible. I think, 17, you're on the cusp of being 18. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
I think, my son's 14 and I say, no, absolutely not. Mainly because I was, a terrible binge drinker in my youth, in my 20s. It was kind of the late 90s, early 2000s when everyone was drunk all the time. It was completely normal. But I really do put that down to starting young and it being normalised by me, my own family and parents, friends of mine whose family and parents were always like, yeah, drink, it's fine. And I think I'm not like that as a result.
Would you raise the drinking age legally, do you think?
I'm not sure about that one because I think, the whole America 21 thing, I'm not sure we would tolerate that perhaps. And I think 18 is possibly, the right age still. I wouldn't do that, I don't think.
I just think we seem to be banning everything, Julie. This is the thing, it's like these disposable, ban them, bully dogs, ban them. And this is the thing now, whenever anything comes in that's a problem, just ban it. And I wonder how long it's going to be before we just go, even kids that are 16 or 17, out for a meal with their parents, we ban them from having booze. 18-year-olds, we ban that, we need to make them to 21. And, part of me just think there's got to be a bit of personal responsibility to it all. Let's put it this way, Julie, I don't drink anymore, right? So sometimes I lacked personal responsibility when it came to booze. So I can see, I don't think that was because my parents let me have a glass of wine with dinner when I was 13 or 14. I think maybe people need to be able to make their own mistakes. What do you think?
Yeah, I can see that. And I'm with you. That's interesting. I too don't drink anymore because I can't just have one. I know I can't just have one. So I stopped a few years ago. But because of that, because I've taken responsibility for that, I now don't want to introduce alcohol to young children because I believe genuinely it can be a slippery slope and addiction is rife in this country with so many things. Why introduce them to another thing early if you can avoid it?
OK, look, Julie, thank you very much, Julie. Great stuff, as ever. And I'll be chatting to you very soon, no doubt. Julie Cook there, who's a journalist and author, just discussing about whether or not it's ever OK to get kids booze. And we look forward to reading your emails on that,